Let's go! Are you kidding me? Two top 100 recruits right here going head up. It's Will Campbell and Quincy Wiggins. We've already done 2 videos dedicated to these 2 players, and we're going to get into some more one-on-one offensive line versus defensive line drills in just a second. So if you are a diehard LSU football fan, you know by now our friends at the Presley Collection have opened up plenty of name, image, and likeness opportunities for not only this channel, but for student athletes. More on them at the end of the video. And look, I'm so excited to do this spring breakdown because this is some actual hitting you're seeing in the background. Look, you don't get to see this often. It was good that Brian Kelly gave the media this unprecedented access. And at the same time, hopefully nobody is suffering any injuries doing this, because that is one of your big concerns. Because honestly, in practice anymore, you don't really do a whole lot of hitting. Now, those are 2 walk-ons going head-to-head, but here is Matthew Langlois going up against a walk-on receiver. He hits him with the little stutter, and obviously the point of this drill is to make sure they don't cross this line, and Langlois did a good job making this open field tackle as potentially the starting safety next year. On this very next rep, I believe it is 2 walk-ons going head up again for LSU. And now we get to this rep here between Jayden Jenkins and what looks to be Joe Big Play Fuchsia. Or I believe that's Joe. So let's see how this rep turns out right here. And as you can see here, Kerry Cooks is really excited about this rep. You see Joe break down right here. This is a guy going into his 6th year of college football. He sizes up Jayden Jenkins and obviously does a great job of just bringing him down here pretty smooth. Once again, this drill is so heavily in favor of the offense. Good open field tackle by Jay Ward right here on Jack Besh. But once again with these drills, I know Jack got dinged up in practice. I don't know if this was the hit that did it. You do worry about players' lower body injuries, and Jack and Jay Ward are both excellent athletes. Jack was still able to make that tutty, though. Still, though, a good open field tackle by Jay Ward, who last year was not a great tackler. Good open fielder right here, and all these are open field. Good tackle right there by Derek Davis Jr. Once again, that is a smaller player that you normally won't see. And that is Greg Brooks getting beat really badly right there by Chris Hilton. Once again, Robert Steeple's doing some coaching. There's BTJ. Great tackle right there by Raydarius Jones. And BTJ, I don't think, got in. Might have been a half-yard line. Still, the main point of this drill is getting the guy down, right? Because you're a defensive back, you're in the open field, you're the last line of defense. It's a lot better there from Brooks swallowing him whole, basically. And look, this is probably the first time that they're actually bringing people down. This is probably one of the better tackles. Jordan Tolles on Carter Arsenault. Really good stuff there from Tolles. And this right here is Mekhi Gardner. Another good tackle right there. Once again, in a perfect world, you don't want a player falling this far forward. You can see he barely got him here. A better athlete probably breaks that tackle. Still, though, but this last rep here by Sage Ryan is actually, to me, the most interesting rep. So here he is going up against Carter Arsenault, both Lafayette guys. And what's very interesting here is Sage stalemates him, and he does something that's very interesting. This is partially how Dak Prescott got hurt, but it's still a very legal tackle when you swipe your legs underneath their legs to bring them down. You see this here. Sage Ryan whips his legs around Carter Arsenault, cuts his leg out from under him, and brings him down. Lots of leg injuries come from that, but if it's still legal, you got to do whatever it takes to get him down. Boom! I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Right now. I know you've already subscribed to the channel. I know you've already rang the bell. And as we said yesterday with our wide receiver video, there's all different types of practice terminology of what certain drills are called and what certain techniques are called. So, once again, for this drill right here, I've always known it as inside drill. Now, normally inside drill features a full offensive line and linebackers going up against the running back, but here it's just half the defensive line and a linebacker. And obviously the focus is for the offense to work on their run fits and the defense to work on their run fits. So these are all runs. This can get very physical. And obviously here, this was a pretty easy read, Walker Howard at quarterback. So this next rep gets a little cut off, but this is just some really good stuff right here by MAASON. He's if he was able to bring Josh Williams down, he would have here, but in this drill, they're not bringing running backs down. And MAASON was able to fight off that block right there by Charles Turner. And this was actually a keep. It's kind of blocked right here by Greg Penn. This was a pull read right here by Myles Brennan, which is some pretty good stuff to see. We talked about this in some Myles Brennan film studies. In order to pull the ball in zone read, you don't have to be a blazer. I felt Myles, in the 3 games that he started, had a few opportunities on zone reads to pull it because defensive ends just never respected Myles' ability to run. Now we move over here. It's Miles Frazier versus Xavier Carter, who's a very slender build. At center, we have, it looks to be Kimo Macanele. I think it's Macanele. And Cardell Thomas. This looks to be Jacobian Guillory. And Nick Demas with Jayden Daniels at running back. Let's see how this rep goes. And good stuff. I mean, it's just really good all around. Xavier getting eaten up pretty bad here. Cardell working to the second level. Good job by this center right here to get a good block right here on, I think this is Wingo, not Guillory. Excellent stuff. I couldn't tell if that was 92 or 90 on that rep. Let's see here. Bad snap. Yeah, it's a bad snap. Obviously, you're trying to figure out who your next center is going to be. The most important thing, of course, is getting a clean snap. Good pull read right here by Jayden Daniels. Even though 94, the end didn't crash down, if you feel he's flat-footed and you feel like you can beat him in a foot race, keep it. And he did. Now, the camera was fooled right there. And this footage via Tiger Details. So I'm not the absolute hugest fan of this drill, but I totally understand why coaches want to do it. Essentially, this is just a get-off drill, right? How good are you at firing off the football and getting a fit on an offensive lineman and vice versa for a defensive lineman? And basically, you're just going head up, and it's basically just a leverage battle. And you see here, I mean, both of these guys here, Ali Gaye going up against Cam Wire, firing off low. Good job by Ali to get lower and then just get to his outside and swim off of him. What I don't like about this drill is that, obviously in a game, you're going to have doubles. You're going to have, the play design helping you out as an offensive lineman. And as a defensive lineman, you're at such a huge advantage because your main goal on this is just to drive the guy backwards, which, isn't normal for defensive line play. But still, I think it's, a drill where, you're able to see who can really be physical. And Xavier Hill really, taking it to Mason Smith there is pretty impressive. Move along here, Jacobian Guillory going up against Charles Turner. Once again, it's such a tough spot for a center snap of the football, but, Guillory just shined. He's just been shining all spring. You have Bryce Langston going up here against Cardell Thomas. It's obviously very encouraging stuff on this rep here. Cardell just drives him backwards. Really good stuff. Good hand fit right there by Cardell. If you're able to grab the inside of the shoulder pads and you get a grip right there, they're not going to call holding. What they call holding on is when you get outside. So if your hands are inside grabbing a hold of someone, they're going to let it go until they actually see a jersey tug. Now we see Will Campbell going up against Savion Jones, and that's just such a good rep right here by actually both of them. So Savion actually wins this rep early, right? See how he gets his hands inside of him right there, and he actually turns them. So he's keeping contained, winning the leverage battle, But Will Campbell just does not give up in general. In any type of offensive line play, Will Campbell does a great job fighting to the bitter end on every rep. And you see he, with this brute strength, was able to reestablish leverage and start pushing him back. And look at Will getting lower and just pushing him out of the way. That's some excellent stuff. There's no other way around it. That's some really excellent stuff. Now we got MAASON Smith going up against Fitzgerald West. And, of course, Fitzgerald's just going to get blown back every single time. Now we get Jacoby and Guillory. Once again, that's an NFL guy going up against a true freshman. Jacoby and Guillory going up against Charles Turner. So that was that. Guillory's looked pretty good. Now we got Bryce Langston going up against McAnally. Both year 2 players that haven't played a lot. And Kimo won that rep. Now we got Quincy Wiggins here. And we did a whole video on Quincy earlier in the week. And, they use this term a lot for younger defensive linemen that are just freak athletes. You hear this term a lot. Raw. He's raw. Well, it actually is true with Quincy Wiggins, right? Super athletic who dominated at the high school level, but once you get to this level, you do have to play with technique. So on every snap, Quincy was able to just run through the line and just make every tackle. Obviously, at the college level, it's a little bit different. And you see it here, okay? So he does a good job, right, just off this jump here, getting low. But when you get low, you have to bring your hands. Notice his hands are all the way down here, and he's kind of just catching the block. You don't want to just catch a block. You got to bring your hands and be violent and take it to the offensive lineman. And you see how he's just kind of just inviting the contact. And when you do that, you're just, when you're going up against an experienced player like Cam Wire, you're just going to get pushed around. And Quincy did a good job fighting off this block and, working, around it. But still, you just see that there's more technique. And look, it wasn't the worst rep, but Quincy obviously is going to get better. That's a guard going up against an edge. The guard should win that. Obviously, comment down below your thoughts on today's video. And, of course, we have so many other great practice videos. As you see, Will Campbell and GAYE going at it in the background. And you'll see MAASON in the background here take it to Fitzgerald West again. Obviously, we have all kinds of live streams and fun stuff heading your way. And once again, thanks to our friends at the Presley Collection and PresleyCollection.com, always bringing that heat, baby. Go on ahead to PresleyCollection.com and you can learn more about the clearest diamonds you'll absolutely find for engagement rings, pendants, necklaces. See Cam Wire versus Savion Jones here. The swim move off. And let's go ahead and show you this right here. So, MAASON Smith going up against Xavier Hill again. And let's see how this rep actually goes. These two went at it quite a bit. And MAASON, what else can you say about this guy? I just can't wait to see what he does next year. It is Power Hour LSU Boom. So if you're watching this on a premiere in just a second, we're about to fire up a live stream, once again, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. And I kind of want to keep this drill going because we're about to see, I believe we're about to see Quincy and Will go at it. Oh, look, if you stay till the end, you're going to get a little extra here. So we missed the first part of the get-off here. You could just kind of see, to start on this get-off, Quincy was a little off balance, and Quincy is lower than Will right here, but once again, this wasn't the worst. This wasn't the best by either of them, but once again, Will just doesn't. I gotta give Will a lot of credit. Even when he gets beat, he just doesn't give up until this whistle is blown. And just look at how he just fights and eventually ends up winning almost every rep you see him. And now he's jacking Quincy up. That's good stuff. But tonight, what are we doing tonight? I think we're doing some brisket. Let's go.